Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.
Hello and welcome to Nirmal, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dadia. We have with us Riya Singh, technical analyst, currencies joining in. Riya, welcome to the show. Let's start with what's happening on the dollar index. Clearly, uh, it's covered the 3-day fall, and that's mainly on the back of the short positions that have been, covered. Now, with this, if you talk about the 10-year Treasury yields as well, they have been pushed higher, and these are levels we've not seen since March. What is this really indicating about the dollar index from here on? Riya,
Okay.
let's start with what's happening on the US dollar index as well. Clearly, we've seen a recovery, short positions have been covered. Whilst if you see the 10-year yields as well, they have been pushed higher to levels that we've not seen probably since the month of March. What does this really suggest about the dollar index to you?
Hiril, if you look at the whole, sentiment revolving around the dollar index, I think the bearish sentiment was fueled majorly with the uncertainties that was there with respect to the fiscal policy outlook, the monetary policy outlook, and the whole inflation outlook. How the Fed and the whole US government will tackle with the inflation problem that it had faced. But as you said, there has been quite a bounce back in the treasury yield as well that we have not seen since March. But so the whole neutral turnaround that we have seen into the sentiment of the greenback has been fueled by the two factors. It was majorly with respect to the Democrats' victory that we have seen in the last week in Georgia. This suggested that there can be $1 trillion additional COVID 19 relief that can be coming as soon as this quarter. And secondly, is with respect to the whole discussion that the Fed can normalize the policy, which means that there can be a hold into the whole fiscal stimulus after this package. There can be a contraction into the whole Fed policy coming forward. Obviously this will be on back of the recovery and so forth, that we can that the US numbers will publish into the coming days. So I think these two factors has what fueled into the dollar sentiment, the bullish sentiment coming, that we have seen the turnaround, sharp 1.6% turnaround, I think, from the lows that it had seen in the past few days. So going forward, I think it can certainly test 90, 60, 90, 80 into the coming sessions.
Right. So Ria, with this, that's with regards to where the dollar index is concerned. Now, if you talk about the pound as well, that is also gaining strength. What's the reason for that, and how do you see it performing from here on?
I think the sentiment around the pound is majorly onto what the Bank of England will announce into their upcoming policy in the next month. There is a whole sentiment revolving around the negative rates. But as per the the statements that have been coming forward from the policymakers of the central bank, they are still working on to the whole how. Uh, they'll work out with respect to the operational feasibility if the UK does take their rate below zero. So the talks are still in progress. The debate around the whole negative rate is still into process, because obviously it will have an effect on the whole economic outlook that will come forward into the coming days for the or the into the next fiscal year. So I think most of the bullish sentiment is fueled onto the whole Bank of England stance that it will take on its policy in the coming month policy meet. So this has been a major reason for the positivity into the pound. Obviously, at the same time, this is a very short term support that the pound is deriving right now. Okay, it's just a near term support. I think going forward, by looking at the whole progress that it has done with the lockdown, and the Brexit, and once the whole Brexit deeds come out as to what the economic position of the UK will be, we'll see some fallback on the gains into the nearing session. So this is just a short-term recovery that we are seeing into the pound on the back of a momentarily weak dollar that we are seeing on the intraday session.
Right. And with this, what's your view on the future of the Indian rupee? Because clearly, as anticipated, the pickup in terms of rural India is something which is actually giving us a positive outlook for the Indian economy as well. So, taking that positive outlook into consideration, how do you expect the rupee to perform?
I think the numbers that have come out from the rural sector, it has been quite impressive. Majorly because there was the whole lockdown that was placed. Has not been quite so rigorous into the rural economy. They have not quite impacted on the whole work, on the whole cycle with respect to the agriculture sector. The rains have been quite good. There has been a pickup into the tractor sales as well. So if you look at the multiple factors that have allowed the rural economy to be buoyant into the 2020 is because of a good harvest owing to a good rains and the favorable terms that the farm product has gained. Also, the government spending has been quite good into the rural sector and the rural programs. They have provided sufficient funds and have neglected, the overall spending that they had to done. So the government has gone beyond with their spending into the rural sector since the pandemic, and they have provided quite a good sufficient funds and the rural programs altogether. So this is what has resulted into a good rural numbers. Also, taking into the season harvest, I think they'll on the ongoing winter sowing and so forth is looking quite good. So overall, if you talk about the Indian economy recovery, I think there has been quite a significant fall into the COVID-19 cases, and it is going down. So this has lifted the consumer sentiment as well. So there can be a slow pickup. Rather what we were expecting from again a lockdown extension, there can be a sudden threat to the whole economic recovery process. But I think going forward, there can be a slow and steady pickup into the Indian economy, because if you look at the numbers that have been published from the the supply side and the consumer side, the employment rate have been picked up. There has been a pickup into the flight departures and so forth. The retail activity is also slightly been negative but has been picking up. So going forward, I think Indian economy will perform good. But obviously, once the rollout of the vaccine starts from the Jan 16, and it will definitely boost the whole consumer and the business sentiment altogether into the Indian economy, and we will see some good inflows from the FIIs as well. But the only negative part here for the this will definitely boost the strength of the rupee, but the counter line that the rupee is facing is with respect to the RBI activity. Now if you look at the forex reserve numbers of the central bank, it has clearly increased to 585.3 billion dollars on as the number showed on the first week of the Jan. So clearly, RBI has been buying into the foreign currency assets of around 2.8 billion. So the whole demand that is coming from the RBI side and the forex reserve that the RBI has been, doing, I think it is something that has been halting the appreciation of the rupee into the into the recent sessions. So going forward, I think that is what will happen, because obviously from the RBI side, even they are trying to boost the export, uh, the decline that the Indian export has seen. So I think RBI will retain its control in the rupee momentum, and it can test 73 to maximum 70 to 80 into the coming session. That is the maximum near term strength that I am uh, that I'm able to analyze into the rupee. So this is the short term recovery levels that one can look forward to in the rupee for the coming days.
Right. So overall, clearly, what are the strategies that you would want to recommend?
I think the short bullish sentiment that the pound is witnessing, one can definitely go long into the pound. Look for a breakout of 99.78 towards, you can go long above 99.78 towards 100 levels. Keep a strict SL of 99.60. And the next strategy that you can go forward is to Europe, because there has been quite a buying into the pound happening against the euro. So euro is likely to have a bearish sentiment going forward. So you can go short into the euro at below 89. 20 for a target of 88.95, 88.65. Keep a strict SL of 89.35. uh, yen, you can also go short into the JPY INR below the levels of 70.45 for a target of 70.20. Keep a strict SL at 70.60 for the coming session. So these are the three strategies. I think with respect to the rupee will likely remain into a sideways consolidation part. It has seen quite a bearish leg today from the opening. But I think to continue the bearish leg, it has to breach the support of 73.20. So if there is a pickup above 73.40, it can again head towards 73.56 and so forth. So you can look out for the levels into the rupee. 73.40 is intraday resistance into the rupee. So you can go long above this level for a short target of 73.55. Uh, but if the keep us, there is a major support at 73.30, 73.27. So follow the support as a stop loss.
Right. Thank you, Riya, so much for sharing your views and the strategies that you've given us. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of the show as well. We will be back with Riya on Thursday at the same time. Thank you.